Hey, shalom, shalom. We start off by giving our praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakaha Korash. A double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone who do teach and rule well. And shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Hey, this is pretty much going to be a real quick one. I'm on my finishing up a walk and talk. And I just was putting a lesson together uh, based on, BB, him getting kicked out of the parliament, but the spirit was still on me, as I was going over second Ezra the 15th chapter, because they look, we are in the times of second Ezra 15, second Ezra 16, where all these said perils and plagues that the Lord said would happen in these latter days, we're completely seeing these things be fulfilled to the point where the scriptures are undeniable, and it shows the times that we're in, because as the scriptures say, a measure the times diligently in itself, and through that measurement of prophecy, we realize exactly what times we are, so as Yahweh Shah said, a these times won't catch us as a thief in the night, you know we're at the point where we realize that it's go time, you know. This Esau Edom, wanting to fulfill his plan, his new world order, we're completely right there, you know. But they just as in the times of old, where Pharaoh was at the heightened of his empire. What the Lord do? He freed his people out of that empire and completely plagued it. So this is what you're witnessing happening here now in America, Babylon the Great, and throughout the whole world, because it's given in what? Into the hands of the wicked. Excuse me. So we're witnessing a plagues take place. We're witnessing I forget the name, was it cyclophilia, cyclophia, that that stomach bug, that's going around, that's got everybody waking up out of their bed, and pretty much, because I say that because it was this one chick, I know, she was saying pretty much how her mother, she pooped the bed, because it was so bad, but hey, these are the plagues that you're witnessing happening. You had those wildfires, which they say, what, it was over 800 of them bad boys out in Canada, which pushed smoke and polluted air, to the point where certain places, what would they call they did it by color coding based on the severity of the polluted air, where some of these places like Chicago, I think they said it was like a cold black, which is like the worst, But hey, this is kind of like how it was. I think it was like 2013, where they had like real bad wildfires. Let me look it up real quick. Okay, they said it was the 29th of July, 1916, Great Within Fire. But anyways, it don't matter. My point is, hey, these plagues are affecting the world. Not to mention this ongoing war, which, hey, Trump, what do you say? Hey, this will not be a forever war. Which you can look up the term of a modern day forever war, but this is turning out to be a forever war. You know, Even during the time where they said what, where they had a peace negotiation, or a peace deal, even within that, with even that time of peace, they were still going neck to neck, and Trump called for that because of what? He said that the reserves, the oil reserves, was like 4 weeks out from being completely almost depleted, so, and we're about to reach that 4 week mark, I believe, so we're reaching times like never before, which they're doing all of these things because they want to enact chaos, so they can offer you a safety deal, which that safety bill will be that Revelation 13 mark, you know, that you put inside your body. And if you don't have it, you won't be able to buy or sell. You know, this is what this man has planned for the earth. You know, but let me finish this out. You know, like I said, I didn't want to make this one too long, and I'm about to be back to my destination. I got to shower up. You know, then I got work this evening too. So, you know, the spirit was just on me to, you know, put this together. But this is Second Ezra 15 and 5. It says, "Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues onto the world, sword." You know, as we see, war, famine. You know, and they say even look how bad the food shortage was that during this whole Strait of Hormuz debacle that took place. Not to mention that spill Bates. You know, he owns all the farmland. So what? He's now putting bullshit in all the and everything. You know, to the point where now I think they said Tyson. You know, they got approved for lab grown meat. You know, so they're saying you can start to see those things start to be put into places like Taco Bell, as they said as a specific. But Taco Bell got a lot of flack right now. KFC, things of that nature. So shows you this dude, he don't know how to treat the earth. So therefore, a famine comes from that too. You know, and so whether it's a man-made famine or famine of the Lord, you know, it's still famine. It's still gonna hit your front door. It says death and destruction. You're seeing that, you know, every time you turn around, you know, hey, there's an individual that's getting dropped. You know, that's we're in the social media age where everything you see, everything is recorded and put online. So now we see how much death is going on through the world. You know, even in your hometown, you know, close to you, you know, even me. You know, I get a lot of local news, and I'm talking about every at least multiple times a day. You know, there's a notification popping up on my phone. Such and such gets shot on this, that, and the third. You know, these are the times that we're in. It says, "For wickedness," verse 6, "for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled." It says, "For therefore, saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercising themselves." So the Lord, hey, this is a time where the Lord's gonna really start visiting individuals, you know, and we see that, you know, as is written, you know, the issues of life and death, you know, they all come from the Heavenly Father, you know. So anybody that drops dead, you know, or anything that happens in the earth, the Lord sanctions it, you know. And now you're seeing a lot of spirits being sent back to the spiritual realm, you know, because we're in that time where the Lord is enacting His judgment, you know. But it goes on to say, "Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me," and who is that? You know, those who are covered through the blood and the sacrifice of Yahushua. You know, they acknowledge their offenses, you know, and now they're turning back to the Lord because of all the unrighteous dealings, you know, that are done in the midst. You know, it says, "And the souls of the just complain continually." It says, "And therefore, saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them." Yeah, that's what we're looking forward to. We ain't looking to avenging ourselves. We was going over that yesterday at camp, you know. As it's written, was that Zechariah the 13th chapter, I believe? You know, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. Therefore, wait upon me until I rise to the pray. Hey, until then, hey, the those who are of the household of faith, and you just got to remain, you know, and suffer and take the low in all situations, you know, no matter what it is. I'm telling you, it's just it's the wiser option in this time that we're in, you know, because a flying off the handle, you know, and being quick to and hasty, you know, to avenge yourself. All right. It says, um, "And therefore, saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them." It says, "Behold, the people is led as a flock to the slaughter, and how they led as a flock to the slaughter through the deceit of Esau, Edom. Causing them to pretty much keep all the philosophies they want. Do as you want, do as you will. You know, so therefore, uh, uh, they don't realize that these philosophies that they've been taught, through the image of the beast, which is Esau Edom's power structure, it's going to lead them to destruction. And that's as the scriptures talk about the blind leading the blind. They both going to fall into a ditch, and hey, look, and it just is what it is when it comes to that. You know, let me finish this out and get straight to the point. It says, "Behold, my people are led as a flock to the slaughter, and I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt." And what is the land of Egypt? So not go into? Synonymous with bondage. Captivity. You know, this is the place, as is written, that it shall no longer be said, "The Lord liveth, that broughteth up the children out of the land of Egypt," but the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of the north, which is the land of the north, a North America. This is our last captivity where salvation it will take place here. You know, it says, "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof." So now we're at the time where, hey, the Lord's going to deliver his elect, and he's going to completely destroy America, Babylon the Great, spiritually Sodom and Egypt. So hey, that was the point. I'm gonna end off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Shem Shah. Shalom.